Be like, why are you so dressed up tonight during quarantine? Well, because I dressed up for you and for myself, of course, because it's nice to feel, like you're going somewhere, like a ball or an event or a cocktail party. But no, I dressed up for you to film this YouTube video. Okay, highly requested from my Instagram survey. The weirdest or all of the jobs I've ever done in my life. So, first and foremost, I'm not sure I remember them all because my memory is not amazing. Or maybe my memory is good, I just don't remember as much because I've done so many things. And luckily, I've met so many people in my life that sometimes it's tough for me to remember them all. And sometimes I'm actually ashamed of it because it happens to me, and I don't know if it happened to you, to meet somebody who say that they are my friends. Guess what? Sometimes it happens to me that I have no idea. Like it's not like you cannot put a name to a face. Sometimes I actually don't remember the person, and it's horrible, and it's a horrible feeling because I do want to remember, but I don't. Yeah. The subject today is all of the jobs I've ever done, even if I don't remember some. Let's start. Are you ready? Let's start with the fact that all of my life, since I was a little girl, I have always had a hustler spirit. And by that, I mean, I always was full of energy to do, to achieve. I was always hyper ambitious. I remember saying to my friends that one day I will be the manager of a huge company or a CEO or a president. And I didn't even understand properly what that meant, of course. But I used to say it to my friends, and my friends would make fun of me. They were like, you don't understand what it takes. You will stop being so ambitious once you understand the amount of work it takes. And guess what? They were right. But I didn't stop. They were just right about the amount of work. It is true that if you are extremely ambitious, you have to also take into account the huge amount of work it will take to fulfill your dreams, because nothing comes for free. The more things you want to achieve, the harder and the more you will have to work. It's kind of logical, but when you're a little kid or you're a young person, I guess sometimes you don't connect the two together. You just think things will happen to you because you're so amazing. It's better to discover it earlier rather than later, right? Very first job. Well, it depends if we are going to take into account all of my modeling jobs as well. But the very, very first modeling job I did was when I was 12 years old. And it was purely me. It wasn't my parents. I saw a fashion show at the big department at a mall, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be on stage. I want to perform. I want to be one of those kids. I got my parents to come with me. I convinced them to come with me to a model agency and to get, a book, photos of me, and to get signed and to start modeling. And yeah, I was just 12 years old. And my first job was a campaign for a big department store, and I was the kid of a couple, basically. Later on, I realized that I want to be a model because I felt that I had too much personality to, conform to other people's vision and ideas and never have a say in that. And so I have started working with my image, but never as a model per se, always as a personality, which means with my own name, with my own looks, without having to change and conform to, the creative idea. I was always kind of like Xenia 4. By the way, my name is pronounced Xenia, not Xenia or Xena or nothing like that. Closed parenthesis. Then, at 16, I decided that I did not want to model or be the face of brands anymore because I felt objectified, and I had a very rebel moment, and I dyed my hair black. Oh yeah, I had black hair, and I loved it, and I just stopped completely. I was in high school, and I realized that not having a job means not having any money. Not having any money is not fun, and I wanted to be independent and be able to afford things. Very simple. And I remember one of the first little regular jobs, hustling jobs I had, was to distribute flyers of events. And the more flyers you can place and the more you made, you had a commission. It was hard. I was going all around town, all alone, trying to figure out how to get people to these events. And that translated into becoming, working at the events as a hostess and as a bartender. And then I started working at a bar as a bartender. This is all, of course, during high school, when I got 18 years old, so it was legal. And I started working at a bar as a bartender, and I loved it. I loved bartending. It was extremely hardcore physically, very long hours, very heavy bottles, because it's not just, making cocktails, which is fun, and listening to good music and speaking to customers. It was a lot of, backstage stuff. So bring in the bottles, leave the bottles, empty bottles, all of that. And those are heavy, and nobody cares if you're a little skinny girl or you're a big man. It doesn't matter. You had to do the job. Physically straining, but also really fun, because the environment was young and happy, and we did make decent amount of money, and that was great at the time. But at the same time, I understood that wasn't long-term job for me, simply because I had to keep up with my studies and finish, and I had to figure out a way to scale. And it was tough to scale by studying at high school and bartending. Then I tried a few other jobs, including jobs in retail, and my heart goes out to all of the people that work in retail. It is not simple. It is really tough, because you have to be on a shop floor, you need to be helpful, you need to stay usually under intense lighting or in a closed environment and space. And it seems easy, but to me, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was like, okay, what can I do to scale and make more money while I'm studying? And so at that point, I realized that I needed, more jobs and a better pay, and started hosting at events. So hosting would mean to, distribute flyers or be like a hostess, in terms of, you give the drink at the entrance, or very simple things like that. And I remember very clearly that I felt underappreciated, and I felt that people would not respect me, because, as you might imagine, I was already a little feminist in the making, and I would not take a weird comment from a man just because I am there hosting, and distributing a flyer. I would not accept it. I would not be disrespected. And I felt that my boss at the time, who actually was a lady, would give me the worst positions. The worst meant the most exposed to situation that I wouldn't tolerate. Situation with the wrong comment, the wrong little look, things like I would be like, no, you need to respect me. I'm doing my job. And she would give me always these positions, or make me look a bit ridiculous. Like I remember I dressed up once as an angel, like with wings, and I looked like a little penguin more than an angel. But anyway, there's a lot of weird situations where I was like ridiculized as well. Bear in mind, at 18, at that point, 17, 18, the opinion of your peers matters. So if somebody saw me on the street or at an event like that, they would have made fun for me forever in school. Anyway, having said that, so I was like, how can I be more respected by my boss and get better jobs and be more appreciated for what I do? And I didn't know the answer at the time. I was just working really hard and trying to prove myself. But a girlfriend of mine was going for a casting to do Miss Switzerland. And I was like, oh no, this is also a bit, modeling, and I don't want to be a model, blah, 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 blah. But bottom line is, she's like, please come with me. I really, really need support. I need you to come with me. And she really convinced me, and we went together. And the rest, well, it's kind of history. But basically, I did pass the casting, and I did get taken, and I was like in the 16 girls from the all of the whole country. And then, bottom line, I became well known thanks to this competition because it was televised. And I thought, this is perfect. My boss will appreciate me because I was on TV, and therefore I'm gonna get better hosting jobs, and I would, be in better positions to not be disrespected while I'm working. Well, little did I know that I never got back to that job or to bartending or any of it. I was catapulted, if that's a thing, catapultata in Italian, to fame. I became well known, and I started working in every single job that involved image. That could have been hosting, TV hosting events, on stage, of course, in 3 languages. And at the time, I had to really work hard to remember everything I was saying in every language and understand and speak properly in front of an audience. And then I ended up, shooting for a lot of magazines, and of course the rest is, all of the jobs that you imagine that have to do with image, including movie scenes. No, I'm not an actress. I just did a few movies, including TV appearances, including writing for magazines and hosting business shows and all sorts. And yeah, so then I never got back to that job that I was hoping to improve my position at. What other jobs have I had? And this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna fire up some jobs that I'm doing or I've done. Well, of course, social media marketing in every sense, including behind the scenes for brands, not just for myself. I would say anything that has to do with videography and photography. It happened to me to do that, of course, with my job. I have done quite a lot, and I still do quite a lot of consulting, which is a completely different ballpark, because consulting means helping a business in a certain area. Usually it's a business, sometimes it's an individual, and it has to do very often with digital marketing and branding for me. And that means, creating presentations as well, and not, just talking to them or explaining to them. Delivery of a paper, of a presentation, so people can use it in the future or in the present for their own needs and to grow their company and the company goals. So that's something I do. What else have I done? Gosh, a lot. I'm a public speaker. So that means writing speeches, delivering speeches on stage. Not particularly similar to Instagram. I would say it's not similar at all, apart from the fact that something's filming you. There's an audience usually, and there's a delivery. Usually it's from memory. I do not have a teleprompter. I don't read it out from cards. It's usually just me talking. Also doing the same when I consult. Sometimes I consult for companies, so there's a whole bunch of people, a crowd. I wrote a book, and that's the subject of my next video that I'm going to be posting in a week time. So please subscribe. I don't know if it's this side or this side. Like, I don't know if this side or this side. Comment, because I read every single comment, and I swear they are amazing. I was impressed. Your comments are life. So thank you for those. And if you want to suggest anything, or how to, improve my delivery here on YouTube, or how to create, a video that you're interested in, or like if you have any subjects for me, please, you're very welcome to suggest. So that's all from me. Also, question, last but not least, what are some of your jobs that are out of place that you've done? Let me know.